with harlots, and had to do with women within the circuit of the holy places. So in the area of the holy places, they was having sex with the women, with the whores. And beside that, brought in things that were unlawful, that were not lawful, sorry. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbidded. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. This is how we lost it. We started to lose it deeper and deeper and more, you know? Because the Lord prophesied that already in the time of Babylon slavery, which is Jeremiah 17:4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. Well, not forever, ever, but a very long time. And it's going to say here, it's going to talk about it. Verse 7, 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 7. In that day, the king's birth every month. What? In that day of the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. They forced them. And when the fast of Bacchus was kept, which is the thing that I just showed you, Bacchanalias, this is rioting. What is he? He's the idol of agriculture, wine, and fertility, which is a lot of sex. Yeah? And what type of sex? Everything. Look at him. What kind of horns do you think that is? You know? Wine. He's always depicted with wine, drunkenness. Back in the days, you know, he was always depicted with females, that type of crazy stuff. Wine. How you call this? Grapes. That's almost grapes. I don't want to click because you're probably going to see naked things and stuff like that. Or fucking a goat or whatever. Here, the statues and stuff like that. Bacchus, which is Bacchanalias. It's the same. It's all the same thing. All of it is connected. This is connected to riot and reveling. Right? Was kept. The Jews were compelled forced to go in procession to Bacchus, carrying ivy. They had to, or risk death. Moreover, there went out the decree, which is an unlawful decree, to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, because there was Israelites in those regions too, because we were dispersed. Because the Lord cursed us and kicked us out of the land. So now the heathen had authority over our land. And some of us fled to live within the midst of these heathen nations. That they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices against the Jews. And whoso would not conform themselves to the manner of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present misery. So if you knew those things that happened, now you understand. Oh, that's why we're so destroyed. This is trauma. This is trauma beyond your comprehension, beyond your imagination. Daniel chapter 9, verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed. 10. Neither have we obeyed the voice of Yahweh our power, to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets, starting with Moses. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing. Some willingly, and some basically they grew up in the midst of the nonsense, so they didn't know better. That they might not obey thy voice, which are the prophets. Where therefore the curse is poured upon us. See, we have curses on us. We are not the cursed people. The cursed people are Esau. Is Esau. Edomites are Edomites. And it says it right here. People of my curse. Isaiah 34:5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, their heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. And you might think like Idumea and the people of his curse. No, this is Old English, so it's talking about them in a whole. Edom, the people of my curse. Right. The curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Heavenly Father. Why? Because we have sinned against him, and he had confirmed his words which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us. And who are those? The heathen nations. By bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven had not been done as had been done upon Jerusalem. Now remember, they came to judge us. And as it showed right here, that he said, here, for we suffer because of our sins. I'll read that later. Right, so it says here, okay. So if you know all these things, now you know the present misery that we're going through. This is the reason. The reason is because they taught us, and the heathen nations also work together to teach us, because they know that if we go off, we're going to be kept under their thumb and under their foot. Just like this. We're going to be kept down like that. You're going down. Where? But they all know. They all work together. Psalms 83. Why do you think all the nations are mentioned together? Because they know. They know exactly why. As you can see here. Deuteronomy 29 and 24. Even all nations shall say, wherefore hath the Lord done thus unto this land? What mean in the heat of this great anger? Then men shall say, the heathens. Because the common people don't really know. The elites know. Because they have forsaken the covenant of Yahweh, the power of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt. And they went and served other gods, and worshipped them, gods whom they knew not, and whom he had not given unto them. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against this land, to bring upon it all the curses that are in this book, that are written in this book. And then you have, of course, the book of Judith, chapter 5. Let me get that real quick here. Judith chapter 5, verse, I think it was 17. 17. And whilst they sinned not before their power, Yahweh, they prospered, because the power that hated iniquity was with them. And when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the people of the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now they are returned unto their power, to their power, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, it's talking about hell and fairness. If you could read the chapter for yourself if you have the time. If there be any error against this people, and they sin against their power, Yahweh, their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin. And let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power before them, and we become a reproach before all the world. Yeah, they know. But some of the other heathen nations, they don't know, because when Enkior said that, they wanted to kill him. Like, how dare you disrespect the army of the Assyrians? How dare you? You gonna die for that, you know? So they clearly didn't know. But the elites nowadays, oh boy, they know. They know exactly what they're doing. That's why they keep that sin up in the midst of us, and they glorify it too. To who? These influencers. They got guys like I Show the Speed, whatever, and the Kai Sanat, and but those are just low level ones. The ones that are up on high are the ones like Bone Talks and Harmony and stuff like that. Here, this bastard knows. These people know. Oh, they know, boy. They know. They don't know the truth, But they do know that they know the truth about, no, they don't know the truth about the Israelites and the scriptures. They heard about it. But they know the truth about what Esau is doing concerning to keep our people sinning. Yeah, the secret meeting that changed hip hop, and he's a part of it. He got that money. He got that money. They can come out now and preach and whatever, but they ate. They ate of that money. Now they can come back and say like, man, you know what they doing in the rap scene, man? Yo, man, they been doing this, man. They told me to rap about guns, drugs, sex, and all that type of stuff. You know, drinking, popping pills, which is drugs. They told me to do these things, and I did it, man. I don't know, man. I did it. You know, I did it. And yeah, y'all living good. Y'all standing here, you know, with the fancy clothing on. Got the award over there. So yeah, I'm saying you think you think you're doing good right about now, right? Right. So yeah, that's what's up. You know, they're living off of the things that they shit. No. Wait. Right, I'm gonna put the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself, right? But yeah, they live fat off of that money, you know, that they got from those things, those meetings and stuff like that. Anyway, going on now, yeah. So they know, the elites especially, they know 100%, because they're the ones that are pushing this thing, and all the heathen nations, their elites, they know too, because Psalms 83 it indicates you that it shows you that they know. That's why they keep us down to the sinning. Right. No, this is 2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 10. For there were two women brought, who had circumcised their children, whom when they had openly led round about the city, the babes hanging at their breasts around their neck. They made, hang. So they put something around their neck, and then the child was hanging around their neck, and of course hidden the chest, of course. And they cast them down headlong from the wall. So they, face down, they threw them down with their head, with their face. You're going to break your neck if you didn't know that. You're going to break your neck. But you're going to see in 3D how the concrete is going to get bigger and bigger, closer and closer, larger and larger, and then snap. And you're not here anymore. And others that had run together into caves nearby, to keep the Sabbath day secretly, being discovered by Philip, were all burned together, because they had made a conscious to help themselves for the honor of the most sacred day, which is the Sabbath day. Right? Which is the Sabbath day. So how do you help yourself keeping the commandments of the Lord? But is that going to 100% save you? It clearly didn't save them here. But that's not what I'm talking about. It's not being disrespectful. No. You need to have faith, because they had the faith and they had the works. So I was just joking around. I'm not being disrespectful. But the point is that nowadays we can't even keep the laws anymore as a whole, because, hey, yeah, you need to do things. Because they're not going to have respect for the day. Let's say you have the Sabbath day, but then you have to do something. You got to do it. And, or there's a feast day. You're going to have to not keep it. You have to do things in this world. You got to pay the rent. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to work. You got to do this. Different things is what people need to do up on the planet Earth. And even if you are able to do these things, yeah, that's not going to save you. The faith in Yahweh Shai that you have, that he will come and save you and wash you clean from your sins, that's the thing that's going to save you. Right. Verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book, that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for the chastening of our nation. So all these things that they did to us, don't read it and be afraid. Like, man, the Lord is allowing these things to be killing us. No, he's actually doing it for your good. He's going to say it, but that might not make any sense. So I'm going to bring you back to the thing that I said in the other video. when you see these rich kids, right? You see these rich kids, right? Baby. I don't even know what this word means. I saw it and I saw the video, so that's why I remember it. Because these children are spoiled. They're pieces of shit, and they have been grown up. They have been living with a golden spoon in their snout. Well, silver, whatever, right? And then they be brutish beasts. They turn against their father, and we that grew up normal, you're gonna look at it like, man, you got everything you want in this world, all the money you should want, and still you're a demon. You're being disrespectful to your parents and stuff like that, or you just spoiled. You think you're great. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of these celebrities, a lot of people that are respected in the streets and stuff like that, but fuck the streets, but I'm giving you an example. They are respected roundabout. The businessmen, very, successful business people like Master P and stuff like that. Them children are not respected like that because you haven't been through anything. You're just a rich kid, a snob. You grew up, you're a piece of shit. You grew up, you order people around. People don't respect you like that. When a person, for example, if you go to the military, right, and you have all these soldiers, right? These soldiers know combat. They're warriors, man. They kill people and stuff like that. But then you might have let's give an example, okay? You have a general or a captain or whatever, and he never been through anything. He never been to no missions. He never really shot people. He just standing there barking out orders. Those soldiers don't really respect him like that, man. They follow what he says, yes, but the love is not there. They follow because they might get in trouble and might lose their so-called career, because all of them want to be there, obviously, or at least the majority of them. Some of them are just there for a paycheck, but still, it's going to mess up your paycheck if you're not listening to the guy. But if the guy is an actual war veteran, like a combat war, scarred up and stuff like that, war wounds, that's what I'm looking for. They're going to respect you, man. They're going to definitely respect you because they're going to be like, man, all the bullets that be flying through your heads and stuff like that, and you still made it, man. You still made it. They're going to respect you. Ain't nobody respecting these little goddamn kids, man. They're disrespectful too, and they say a lot of disrespectful things. So, basically, we needed to go through some things in order for the Heavenly Father to basically bless us up and make us go to the fire in order for it to take us out as beautiful gold. That's what the Al-Basham Yashai is doing, you know what I'm saying? So, 2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 13, for this is a token of his great goodness. You might think to yourself like, what? How is this punishment and all these crazy things? How is that his great goodness? Well, we sinned. We sinned against him. And he didn't allow our sins to actually come very big, become like a mountain, in order for him to actually really kind of destroy us like he will these other nations. He lets us go so high and then breaks us down real good. Let me show here. A high and break us down, and then we wicked again, he breaks us up. Wicked again, we break us up. Wicked again, break us up. But these heathen nations, they've been doing wicked for so long, they think they're right. They think that the Lord is with them. We know that the Lord ain't with us. But wait, he wasn't with it. Wait. It's going to explain. Let me read on. It's just a punishment, but the Lord is with us. So let me read it. Verse 13, for this is a token of his great goodness, that wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. So the wicked doers of our nation, they don't basically suffer a long time, but they are punished. And the wicked doers of the heathen nations, they're not going to live long in glory. They have been living a long time in glory right now, but they're going to be put down where they belong, right? Verse 14, for not as other nations, whom the Lord patiently forbear to punish. Us, he punishes us right then and there. You going off, you getting your ass whooped today. It's better than to make you think that you're actually doing good while you're doing evil. No, you're going to get judged right now. It's better. Just believe me, in the long run, you're going to thank me for this one. Right? Now I say, is that, I don't think I'm going to thank you for this one. Yeah, believe me, you will. Because it says it right here. Let me see. Romans chapter 8. I'm sorry, Proverbs 3:11. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. For whom the Lord loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. Hebrew 12:5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation, which speaketh unto you as unto children. Because he loves you. That's why he speaks unto you as a child. You're not going to speak brutishly to a child because you know the child is stupid. You know the child doesn't know any better. And that's how the Lord speaks unto us. My son, despise not thou the child. I'm not saying the child is stupid. I'm just, I'm using that word funny. Because the point is the child doesn't understand a lot of things. So you speak loving to him. You don't speak to him with a bare knuckle, with what do you call that thing again? You don't speak to him with this in hand. I forgot the name for it. There's a name for that thing. You have a iron knuckle, not a glove. And I forgot the Dutch name even. That's what I was actually looking for. But yeah. Boxburg. Oh yeah. This one. Yeah, you're not waiting for, you're not doing that, right? I mean, you're definitely not doing this, right? Or this, which is less murderous, because if you hit them with this, they die. I think the son will die. If you hit them with this, they still could die. If you hit them in the head, they might die. If you hit them in the head with this one, hit them in the head with the headshot. That just jumped in my head. Anyway, if you hit them in the head with this thing, they might die. It's a big possibility. With this one, there's a small possibility. But this one, yeah, that's a big possibility of murdering them, killing a person, murdering them. So the Lord is not doing that. My son, despise thou not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Like, oh man, it's getting too much. For whom Yahweh loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. You're going to go through some things, boy. You're going to go through some things. And the beauty is, a lot of things will come on you and you'll be like, oh, I understand why. Verse 7. If ye endure chastening, Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not? You're not a son, you're a bastard. But if ye be without chastisement, wherefore all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. Yep. Furthermore, we have had fathers in our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Yes. Verse 10. For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure. But he for our profit. Yeah, because, for example, your father, he beat you up because you didn't do something according to him. So he whooped your ass, you know what I'm saying? But the Heavenly Father, he whoops that ass for your soul's sake, for your profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. That's the beauty. Because the fathers in the flesh that correct us, sometimes they whoop you because of their things, like you didn't go to school, blah, 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 blah. For example. Right? That's his own pleasures. Because the school is a bunch of devil shit anyway. Their schools. Few things you learn there, that's good, which is math and learn how to read and write. But it's their writing and reading. So yeah, math, That's universal. So anyway, so it says that let me see. Yeah, so that we become partakers of His holiness. Verse 11. Now, no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. You're exercised with the beatings, so you know better. Those little rich bastard kids, they're not being disciplined. Look at them. They're evil. You know, this money goes to their head. They're disgusting. If you look at their stuff, what they're doing, you'd be like, man, this is not good. You're supposed to be put to death for that shit. If you look at them, be like, hey, fuck these kids, man. These kids are evil. You know, but, well, everybody hates spoiled brats. Everybody does, man. Everybody might not say it, but they don't like them. They damn sure don't respect them. Just because your father has all the money don't mean that you're respected. You know? So it doesn't seem joyous, but it is. Just wait for it. You're going to find out. 12. Wherefore, lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees. Yeah. The hands that hang down when you're tired and be like, oh man, I almost give up. No, we lift up your hands by giving you comfort one another with these words. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 18. Or was it 2 Thessalonians 4? I think it's 1 Thessalonians. Yeah, 1 Thessalonians 4 and 18. Comfort ye one another with these words. And the feeble knees, which you should basically help stand up straight again by giving them this beautiful word to comfort them in their soul so that they feel at ease. Like, man, I feel good knowing this now. Man, now I know my future is bright. In Yahweh Bashem Shai. 13. And make straight paths for your feet, lest that which is lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed, and we will be healed by Yahweh Bashem Shai. Don't basically fall, but be healed, you know. Follow peace with all men and holiness. Yeah, if it's possible, follow peace with all men. Yeah. Here. Romans 12:18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceable with all men. So as much as lieth in you, just live peaceable with them. You know. Verse, let me see, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 14. Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Yeah. So follow peace with all men, as long as as much as it is within you. Because if a person don't like you, you don't have to break your back to make them like you. So, as much as lieth in you, be at peace with them. If not, keep it moving. I mean, the Lord did say also, give not that which is holy unto the swines and dogs, right? Are you still going to try and teach him? He might throw a punch at you or something like that. I'm not saying that you should be afraid. I'm saying you should be as wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Meaning, you should consider talking to people like that and just leave them alone. You know, sometimes keeping the peace means keeping your mouth shut. They don't want to talk about the scriptures. Don't bother them. If he come talking of adultery with you, and every day that he sees you, he's talking about having sex with girls and bitches this and bitches that, aren't you gonna get fucking irritated with him? I'm gonna get irritated with you, especially if I told you like, listen, I don't want to talk about that. But you keep on coming, you keep on pushing. I'm gonna get irritated, right? So it's the same thing with him. They don't want to hear holy things all the time, man. Some of them, they don't want to hear holy things at all. But they're just friends of the world. Make you friends with mammon, right? Just make friends with the world, people of the world, you know. Verse 15. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of Yahweh, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled. So, you have a lot of bitterness within our people. Yeah, I know exactly what I'm talking about because I know about this. Yeah, but the thing is this. What you shouldn't be doing is let it get to you. Don't be too angry. Especially if you like, if you let, somebody did some shit to you, and you finna go drinking and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You should watch out with that. Just try and control yourself and restrain yourself. Cause that festering of anger, oh boy, it will linger. Sometimes you might not notice, and then sometimes you think about it and you're angry again. So Yaharatizah, if it be possible, follow peace with all men. Yeah, even the heathen nations. It don't mean you have to be their friends, bro, if you don't want to be. But follow peace with them. Meaning, if they say hello, you say hello back. Some of them might invite you to their house and want to make you have food with them or something like that. Just if you feel like it, if you feel there's no trouble, then just go. Okay? And if you don't want to, then you don't want to. That's up to you. Romans 8:18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. You know what type of power we're going to get? This. Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. You know what this represents? Infinite energy. Powers beyond strength. Strength beyond powers. So, you're going to be able to fly. I'm going to tell you one thing right now, right? Yeah, Saudi. They got more than 1 trillion. That's bullshit. Anyway, these people, right? They got trillions. They got trillions. That's just one family, and this is one thing. And they got more than that. They're lying to you. Okay? Anyway, do you know how long it will take to spend 1 trillion? $1 trillion, right? So, the Earth is not even 1 trillion seconds old. I'll tell you that. Now, which is 32,000 years. Yeah, the Earth is not that old. Let me see, 1 trillion. It's kind of irritating how that thing never comes when I want to have it. Where is it again, boy? Here. Now, it says here 1 trillion, right? Just how much is 1 trillion? Okay, Jensen. Spending 1 million an hour non-stop for 24 hours a day, you wouldn't run out of 1 trillion for 411 plus years. That's how much 1 trillion is. Yes, 1 trillion. If you didn't know, because a lot of people don't know this. That's why you never hear Esau speak about trillionaires. You hear him speak about billion, and then they want to push the billion or million, right? Stuff like that. 1 point or 600 billion, million. They really want to push it as if it's something that they achieved. They got that. They got it to ill gains anyway. It might seem nice. Yeah. Anyway, you cannot count 1 trillion seconds. You'll be dead. You'd be dead. In the middle of counting, you'd be dead. You're gonna lose count anyway. All I have to do is when you're counting 55, 35 seconds. Second 23. And you lost. Now you gotta start all over again. Oh shit. Yeah, that's just a waste of life if you want to count seconds. Yeah. You're gonna die. 1 trillion seconds. You really think you can do that? Just stand there by the clock looking. You'd be dead. Anyway, so this is what we're going to get. But the point of me showing you that is all the Arabs in existence would give up all their money just for one blessing of the Lord. And that blessing would then, but just, this is just a physical blessing, not even the spiritual ones. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. For that they would give up all their riches, and have infinite energy. What about the immortality? I didn't even say that one. There's nothing in existence that could make you, that is worth immortal. You can't pay me enough. You can't, because it's unworth. It's There's no amount of money you can pay that would make it worth being immortal. Come on, man, immortal. That's what we're gonna get. So they would love that. They would want that. So, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time, the slavery that we went through, and all this here type of crazy stuff that we went through here, yeah, right, are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. First Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, eyes have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the mind, the things which Yahweh had prepared for them that love him. Whoa. You can't even fathom in your head what the Lord got prepared for us, because you never seen it before. That you can't. How are you gonna how are you going to explain the color blue or any other color to a person that is blind, born blind? How Sway? How you gonna do that? You can't, because he never seen it. You can say whatever you want. He will never know how it looks. He don't even know how a woman looks. He don't even know how his own, you don't know, because you never seen it. So nobody can explain anything to you accurately. They can tell you something, but you can imagine it. But what are you going to imagine? You've never seen it before. So that's what the Lord has prepared for his elect, the ones that love him. 2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book, that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. Yes. For it is a token of his great goodness, when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. That's why the Most High jacks us up real quick. Verse 14. For not as the other nations, whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish, till they become to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us. So, when they are to the fullness of their sins, the Most High is going to crash on them. Crash. And they're not going to be happy when the Lord does that too. You know what? No, I think I'll split this up into anyway. So let me go on. Now it says it. Verse 15. Lest that, being come to the height of sin, afterward he should take vengeance of us. That's what the Lord is doing. Of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. The heathen nations are going to punish eventually, and the Lord is punishing us now, but later on he will have mercy upon us. Verse 16. And therefore he never withdraweth his mercy from us. Why? Because he doesn't allow us to go about and sin for 500-600 years like Esau. He been doing it. He punished the Egyptians after 400 years. Mizraim. Yeah. He allowed them to do their stuff. He allowed the Canaanites also to, about that time, he allowed the Canaanites also to keep on sinning for 400 years. You don't believe me? That's why when we went up in that place, we snuffed them out. Well, not all of them, but we should have. But the Lord is gonna, he's gonna make it good with us again. Genesis 15 and 16. But in the fourth generation, they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Right, so, verse 13, Genesis 15:13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs, and shall serve them. And they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterward shall they come out with great substance. That's exactly what we did when we came out of Egypt, because we took all their gold and stuff. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. When you pass. This is Abraham. He shall go to his fathers in peace, even though he was cut off from them. In the book of Genesis 12, it shows you that. Cut off from his people, because the chosen bloodline went through him. Right. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. 175 was he. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. So, the Most High is telling Abram, your children shall be slaves in Egypt, Mizraim. But, and Abram was in the land of Canaan at that time when the Lord told him. But he said, when the Amorites, right, and the first kings that we killed are the Amorites, was King Og and King Sihon and Og, which is, okay, which one here, this one. Moses came and then he butchered them. And let me see something here. Let me see. No, not this one. I should know better. The conquest of, no. Wow, I had it here somewhere. Here, kings defeated by Joshua. Sorry, this one. These were the ones that Moses killed. The giants here. And then Joshua went and fought here. So, he fought against King Og, territory of Og, which later we got. But we didn't keep it, so because we didn't keep the law, so we started to lose these wars. But later on in the time of King Solomon, we did have this under our belt. Anyway, and the King Og, which was living here at that time, and Moab is now here, yes, but in the beginning the Canaanites were there. Right. For the Amorites, their sin is not yet full. So they got to keep on sinning for 400 plus years. Okay. Leviticus 18 and Leviticus 20 shows you what they were doing in the land. Right. Verse 16. 2 Maccabees 6:16. And therefore he never withdrew his mercy from us. Why? Because he didn't allow us to sin for 400 years or some stupid stuff like that. He kicked us in our ass real quick. Because he didn't want it to reach unto heaven. That's mercy. And though he punished with adversity, yet doth he never forsake his people. He turned his face from us. Didn't forsake us. I just also said that in slavery, not all of us actually had suffering, pains. Well, all of us did, but some of them, man, they was on a level 10. Others were on a level 4, 5. It depends how much mercy the Lord had on you in that lifetime. Going on 17. But let this that we had spoken be for a warning unto us. Let me read it again. But let this that we had spoken be but let this that we had spoken be for a warning unto us. Yeah, all this should be a warning unto you not to do it again. And not to do these same things. Don't be going to parties, having orgies and stuff like that. The Lord don't like that, boy. It might seem cool and dope to you right now. Man, I got a lot of bitches, man. I had like 3 bitches on my dick, man. I was a real nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real nigga, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You so good. You so good, nigga. Good. Got 3 bitches, good. Yeah. That ain't dope. And now will we come to the declaring of the matter in a few words. Right. Now to the other ones here. Verse 38. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance. He was very handsome for an old man. And he was favored. A lot of people liked him too. Was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. They wanted him to do that because that was the law, or else, forced, controlled, forced, because that was the law. If you didn't do it, he'd kill you. And you were not allowed to call yourself a Jew. You were not allowed to keep the customs of your forefathers. So they wanted to force everybody to eat pork and stuff like that, because they knew that's one of the taboos of the Israelites. That's what you're going to get. But he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth, and came of his own accord to the torment. Now you might think he put it in his mouth. He didn't. He actually basically was like, hey, I'm going to step it up. Okay, I'm going to come to you. Since you want to kill me, let me come to you. So here's the neck. I'm going to offer you my neck. Just like how I said, they slap you, turn the other cheek for a not slap. He basically put his neck for them to chop it off. Actually, they was going to torture him, but yeah. As it behooved them to come, because basically they really wanted to. A duty or responsibility that they had to do. They was ordered by the king to come and do it. That are resolute to stand out against such things, as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. So, what does it say? It says that as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. Basically, not for the love of life, I will eat that shit. Basically, eat that swine flesh. I don't love my life that much, bro. That's what he basically said. Well, I don't love my life enough for me to eat pork, because if I eat the pork, I may live. I don't want that. Let me eat the pork and die. So then I don't have to live with such abomination. I will be stained like a beautiful clothing. All of a sudden, you're drinking wine, splash. Oh shit! Now you're running, trying to wash it off because you don't want to destroy the clothing. Well, that's your soul. That's your spirit. That's your body. In this case, it's his body. He didn't want to eat that swine flesh. So he didn't want to stain himself. He'd rather die. 21. But they that had the charge, because they were behooved. Where is that word again? Sorry. Oh, yeah, here. Because they were behooved to come and do that to him. They was forced, basically. And they wanted to, anyway. But they that had the charge of the wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man. So they knew him. But they was in charge of the wicked feast, right? Taking him aside, they pulled him on the side and told them this. So they pulled him on the side away from the rest of the Israelites. Besought, and he was well favored. Yeah, the countenance well favored. Yeah. A lot of people liked him. And he was a handsome man for an old Israelite. Also. So it says they pulled him aside. Taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision. They told him, like, hey, check this out, man. Look, we don't want, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to force you, Just take lawful meat, okay? And then we will bring you to them, and then we will make you eat the meat in front of them, and just say that you ate pork, okay? Please do this, man. Okay? We like you, man. We know you. You're an acquaintance of us, man. Since I was young, running around, you was always there looking after me and stuff like that, telling me things and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king. But he needed to do it in front of the people, right? That in so doing he might be delivered from death. He's like, man, I don't love my life that much to eat that pork. And for the old friendship with them find favor, right? Because they knew him, right? But he began to consider discreetly, and as being, sorry, and as becoming of his age, and as his age became, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray hair head, whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child. And what education you might see? Well, this one. The word education means child rearing, also training of animals. The training of animals. So when somebody trying to boast up against you and say like, man, I'm educated compared to you, then you pull up this word education. Then you look at him and be like, yeah, you're a chimp. You're a trained chimp. Roll over. Give me a paw. Here, boy. That's what you are for Esau. You're an educated fool. You're educated in this world, because they train you stuff like, so when who discovered America again? Here, boy. Say it. Columbus. Yeah, good boy. Here, have a treat. That's you. You're the training of animals. But when education, we are learned of our parents in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? So it says here, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by Yahweh, he was educated in that, trained up from a child in that. Right? Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightways to send him to the grave. So after he told them, they wanted him dead. For it becometh not our age, said he. For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eliezer, being 80 years old, and 10, he was 90 years old, were now gone to a strange religion. This, what he's saying was this basically: no, I don't want to do that. You know why? Because all these people here, look how old I am. All these people here are gonna look at me like, man, all the years all the knowledge, all the years, all the experiences he have in Yahweh Bashem Yashai, and he just took a dive. He literally took a dive. But they wouldn't know that he took a dive. They would say like, he ate pork, but actually he was taking a dive. Only he would then knew, along with these guys, the ones that are in charge of the wicked feast, only they would know that he actually did not eat the pork, right? But he didn't want that, so he was saying like, no man, they think I'm on a strange religion type tip. I don't want that. Verse 25, and so they, through my hypocrisy, basically your acting skills, you're lying, and desire to live a little time and a moment longer. I mean, you're 90 years old. Would you think you're gonna live to 155? Yeah, I don't think so. Because it's gonna be a little moment longer. Should be deceived by me. Let me read it again. 25. And so they, through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to mine old age, and make it abominable. Yeah, because if you go to the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 8, verse 10, for if any man see thee which hath knowledge, and the old man has had knowledge, sit at meat in the idol's temple, shall not the conscience of him which is weak be emboldened to eat those things which are offered unto idols? And through thy knowledge shall the weak brother perish for whom Yahushua died? But when ye sin so against the brethren, and wound their weak conscience, ye sin against Yahushua. Wherefore, if meat make my brother to offend, if you're offended of what you saw me eating, I will eat no flesh while the world standeth, lest I make my brother to offend. So this is talking about food offered unto idols, but I'm giving you an example of a fact, which is, if they see you that have knowledge, your older man that has experience, knowledge, and all that type of stuff, If they see you eat it, they're gonna do it too. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just do it too, then, just to live, And he wasn't down with that because he said it. He said it right here. He said, verse 26, for though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. Why? Because you caused them to eat that thing too, because they didn't see no strength or vigor in you, like fuck you. Then people gonna say, man, he died honorable. I want to die like that too, man. Because people are followers. A lot of time people are followers, especially younger ones. They're followers, They're gonna follow the right examples that you put in front of them. If you put wicked examples in front of them, they're gonna think that that is right. If you put right examples in front of them, they're gonna think that that is right, because you showed them. They're gonna do it. 27. Wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will show myself such as an one as mine age required. Basically, what he's saying, I'm gonna act my age. I'm not gonna do something dumb and stupid and young and dumb. I'm gonna act my age. I have the wisdom of the age because I've been through a lot of things. An aged person has been through a lot of things. They can teach you a lot of things, right. But you have old fools too, so don't think I'm switching it up with them, because I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the older, better men. Verse 28. And leave a notable example to such as be young, to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment. They really wanted to kill him right then and there. They was, fuck this guy. We gave you a chance. Why? Verse 29. They that led him changed the goodwill they bare him a little before into hatred. They hated him for those words, because he foresaid speeches proceeded. Because the foresaid speeches proceeded, which is the said before speech. Here, this word is said before. Here, aforesaid is, which means before. So it reads, because the before speech proceeded, the thing that he did before, begin a course of action. Because the course of action that he started, well, I'm going to read it here. That's what he started because of his example. Now, if he took a dive, right, under the table, he took a dive and he ate chicken instead of pork in front of the people, but they didn't know it was chicken. Yeah, he could have destroyed the consciousness of a lot of the young men, and the Lord would not be happy with that one. And he knew. He was like, no, man, the Lord's gonna get me, because he know I tricked him. No, I don't want that. I don't want that name. So I'll just die then. Die honorable death. Going on. First, the rest of 29. Because the foresaid speeches proceeded, as they thought, from a desperate mind. They thought he was on a weak type tip. 30. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifest unto Yahweh, that had the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death if I lied, I now endure sore pains in body by being beaten, but in soul am I well content to suffer these things, because I fear him. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation. His nation, remember that. Even the heathen nations looked at it like, damn, this guy. It doesn't say it here, but I know that they do that. Look at Nat Turner. Wasn't they silent when they was about to kill him? They was like, damn, this guy woke up. Shit. If all the Israelites wake, they're gonna kill us. God damn. They was very silent. Nat Turner's revolt